Ever wondered what makes pulled pork tacos so irresistible? Pulled pork tacos, a culinary delight, have been tantalizing taste buds for generations. Originating from the vibrant food culture of Mexico, these delectable delights have since spread far and wide, becoming a favorite in dining tables across the globe. The secret to their irresistibility: it's a unique symphony of flavors and textures that make each bite an unforgettable experience. Imagine tender, slow-cooked pork that's been gently pulled apart, its rich, smoky flavor perfectly balanced with a tangy, zesty salsa. Now, add a layer of crunchy vegetables for a satisfying contrast, all wrapped in a soft, warm tortilla that holds everything together. It's this delightful combination that makes pulled pork tacos a true flavor explosion. And while the dish may seem complex, its beauty lies in its simplicity. With the right ingredients and techniques, even novice cooks can master this dish. Ready to discover the secrets of making the perfect pulled pork tacos? Before we dive into the cooking process, we need to understand the ingredients that make pulled pork tacos so special. First up, we have the star of the show, the pork shoulder. This cut of meat is preferred due to its high fat content, which when slow cooked breaks down to create a tender, melt-in-the-mouth texture ideal for pulling apart. It's this process that gives our dish the name pulled pork. Next, the symphony of spices. We're talking about cumin, chili powder, smoked paprika, oregano, and a touch of brown sugar. These spices are going to rub shoulders with our pork, imparting a deep, smoky, and slightly sweet flavor that's going to make our pulled pork anything but ordinary. Now let's talk tortillas. These flat, round breads are the vessel of our flavor-packed pulled pork. They're soft yet sturdy, capable of holding our generous fillings without falling apart. And the best part? A little char on the grill gives them a toasty edge that complements the richness of the pork. Onto the toppings. The beauty of tacos lies in their versatility. You can top them with anything you like, but for our pulled pork tacos, we're going with a classic combination of creamy avocado, zesty lime, crunchy red cabbage, and a sprinkle of fresh coriander. These ingredients not only add a pop of color, but also balance the richness of the pork with their fresh and tangy flavors. And let's not forget the condiments. A good dollop of sour cream, a drizzle of hot sauce, or a spoonful of salsa can take your taco from tasty to tantalizing in a heartbeat. Finally, the secret ingredient: time. Slow cooking allows the flavors to meld together, creating a depth and complexity that's hard to achieve otherwise. It's a labor of love, but trust me, it's worth every minute. Now that we know the ingredients, it's time to start cooking. The star of our dish is the pulled pork, and we need to prepare it just right. The first step in the journey of our pork from farm to taco is the seasoning. A well-seasoned piece of meat is the soul of any dish, and this holds especially true for our pulled pork. We'll start by generously rubbing our pork shoulder with a flavorful blend of spices. A mix of ground cumin, smoked paprika, brown sugar, and a hint of cayenne pepper for that much-needed kick. Don't be shy. Let every nook and cranny of the pork shoulder get acquainted with these spices. Next, we're on to the marinating. Marination is a step you can't afford to skip if you want to achieve that deep, succulent flavor. We'll be marinating our pork shoulder overnight in a concoction of apple cider vinegar, crushed garlic, and a splash of soy sauce. This mixture not only tenderizes the pork, but also infuses it with an incredible depth of flavor. Now we've arrived at the most important part: slow cooking. Slow cooking is the secret to getting that melt-in-your-mouth texture that makes pulled pork so irresistible. We'll be cooking our pork shoulder at a low temperature for about 8 hours. Yes, you heard it right, 8 long hours. But remember, patience is the key here. As the saying goes, good things come to those who wait, and wait we shall. While our pork is slowly transforming into a masterpiece in the slow cooker, it's essential to baste it every now and then with its own juices. This keeps the meat moist and flavorful, and there you have it. A beautifully seasoned, marinated, and slow-cooked pork shoulder that's ready to be pulled apart. The aroma wafting from this will make you swoon, and the flavor will make you want to dance. With our pork slowly cooking, we can focus on the other elements of our tacos. While our pork cooks, we will prepare our toppings and tortillas. Now, the beauty of tacos lies in the contrast of flavors and textures, and that's where our toppings come into play. Let's start with a zesty red onion and cilantro mix. Grab a couple of red onions and chop them into small, delicate pieces. Next, take a handful of fresh cilantro and give it a rough chop. Mix these together and set them aside. The sharpness of the onions and the freshness of the cilantro will cut through the richness of the pork and provide a delightful crunch. Moving on, let's prepare a simple yet tangy salsa verde. Blend together tomatillos, jalapenos, garlic, and a squeeze of lime. You can adjust the heat as per your preference. This salsa verde will add a kick of spice and acidity to our tacos, creating a balance that is simply irresistible. For a creamy element, let's whip up an avocado creamer. Blend ripe avocados with some Greek yogurt, lime juice, and a pinch of salt. This creamy delight will provide a cooling counterpoint to the spicy salsa and the smoky pulled pork. Now let's turn our attention to the tortillas. Their role is not just to hold our fillings, but also to contribute to the overall taste and texture of our tacos. We're going to warm them up to make them pliable and to bring out their natural corn flavor. You can do this on a dry skillet over medium heat. Just give them about 30 seconds on each side until they're soft and slightly charred. And remember, keep them wrapped in a clean kitchen towel to retain their warmth and moisture. So we have a vibrant mix of toppings, each offering a different taste and texture. We have the sharp and crunchy red onion and cilantro mix, the tangy salsa verde and the creamy avocado crema, and of course we have our warm and pliable tortillas ready to cradle our smoky pulled pork. With our toppings ready and our tortillas warmed, we're almost ready to assemble our tacos. Now comes the exciting part, assembling our tacos. First, let's take a moment to admire our beautifully cooked pork before we begin pulling it apart. Use 2 forks to shred the meat into bite-sized pieces, ensuring that each morsel is infused with our delicious blend of spices. Then, it's taco time. Grab a warm tortilla and place a generous helping of our succulent pulled pork in the center. Follow this with a layer of your chosen toppings. Remember, balance is key. A combination of crunchy, fresh vegetables and creamy sauces will complement the tender pork perfectly. Next, sprinkle a little cheese on top. Once it melts, it will act as a delicious glue, holding all our ingredients together. Finally, a dash of lime juice adds that essential zing, crowning our culinary masterpiece. So roll up your sleeves, it's time to dig in. And there you have it, irresistible pulled pork tacos. Let's recap the journey we've taken to create these mouth-watering pulled pork tacos. We began with a detailed breakdown of the ingredients, each one chosen for its ability to contribute to the overall flavor profile. Remember, the quality of your pork shoulder and the freshness of your spices are key to achieving that tender, succulent pork we all crave. Next, we delved into the process of preparing the pork, emphasizing the importance of slow cooking to allow the flavors to meld together. Don't forget, patience is paramount here. Following this, we took our time to prepare the toppings and tortillas. The crunch of the fresh vegetables, the tang of the pickled onions, and the soft, warm tortillas perfectly complement the rich, smoky pork. Finally, we brought it all together in the assembly and serving of the tacos. Each layer, each ingredient, each step is part of the symphony of flavors that makes these tacos truly irresistible. With this knowledge, you're now ready to create your own irresistible pulled pork tacos. Enjoy the flavor explosion.